Okay, hello.
Hi, Alberta. How are you?
I'm doing good. So, how are you?
I'm good. Had a busy day, but I'm okay.
That's good. Okay, let's see. Well, anyways, I know I watch all your oldest videos, so
I saw that. Wow, you watched a lot of them.
yeah. Okay. So where were we at last time? Okay. Was it scary for you to travel by yourself?
No, no. I mean, hey, Jordan. I prefer. Hey, Scott. I prefer. No, I don't prefer it. I mean, on long drives, it's nice to have somebody with you while you're driving. That's for sure. I don't. But I don't get scared. No, I don't get scared. I mean, when it's heavy rain, heavy snow, who likes to drive in that? And
Yeah.
but I definitely there's like two or three people I love to film with. So when I'm with them, they keep me steady and they help me film, and are very encouraging. I've got a couple people in Detroit, two or three in Los Angeles that are like that. That I feel very I look forward to filming with because if I get discouraged or I'm like thinking about other things, they're right with me. They're like, yeah, let's do it, and they'll push me to go further and further. I mean, I do
Yeah.
that myself, but still. But no, I'm not scared. No, I don't think so.
Okay. Was it more expensive when you travel by yourself?
Oh, it's way more expensive. It's way more expensive to travel by yourself. Well, I mean, if I was paying for somebody else, then it would be definitely expensive. But no, I mean, yeah, I pay for all my own hotels, gas, car, flight, rental car. But now I'm hopefully, I think maybe going again in 2 weeks, and I'm driving my own car, so that takes care of flight and renting the car. I get to just thankfully drive my own car again. It's been 2 years since I've had my car in the States almost because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
It was November 2019, I think, was the last time I drove into the States. Around then, I was there for a month, and then pandemic hit, so we haven't been able to cross the border. But November 8th, I'm allowed to cross the border again, so I'm excited about that.
Um, let's see. Are you like doing what you like to do when you're filming?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. I have at least 100 videos, at least filmed that I haven't put up yet. So there's ones that I've done that are my favorite, are
Hmm.
something that I've absolutely loved, but I just haven't had the time to put. I haven't had the. I'm trying to go in certain order, and I'm trying to do all horror, scary ones for Halloween. Thank God that's over on Sunday, and
Yeah.
I can get back to doing other stuff that doesn't have to do with you know crime or horror movies or whatever, which I love doing. But no, I like the thing with my channel is I do everything. Some things hit with an audience, some
Yeah.
things don't. Some things get popular, but and I film things. I drove 2 hours out of my way a few weeks ago in Los Angeles for a 15-minute video that I know maybe 1,000 people will watch, if that. But I wanted to see this place, and I was like, it's a story I want to tell, so I did it. So I don't do things based on if I think it's going to get a lot of views. Like if I did that, then I'm doing the I'm in well I'm in the right business if I'm doing that. But
Yeah.
that's just not me. I got to do things that inspire me or that I want to show other people because I can't be
Yeah.
fake. I mean, I could be, but what's the point of that?
Yeah. Let's see.
This thing
How many?
exploded.
Oh, let's see.
Yeah,
How many states have you visited?
I've been to 46 states. So the ones I haven't been to are Hawaii, Montana, Alaska, and Utah,
Hmm.
which is surprising because Utah has a lot of stuff. But
Yeah.
Utah is so huge. I haven't I'm trying to figure out when I can do it and how I can do it, because it's like 2 weeks at least in Utah. There's stuff I want to see. And Montana, hey Ryan, and Montana, I was in December of 2019. December of 2019. Wait, no, December of 2020. What year?
Yeah.
December of 2020, I was in Vancouver and Calgary, and I was right at the border of Alberta and Montana. So if the border were open, I would have crossed Montana off my list finally, but just haven't had a chance to get all the way up there. And that's going to be it'll happen. It's just Montana's the state I've always wanted to see the most, actually, and it's one of the last ones I haven't, because there's not much out there in terms of pop culture. For my channel, there's not a lot to show in Montana, so but I still want to see it and share it and show the beauty of it, because I know it's going to be beautiful, but I gotta figure out how to do that.
Yeah. How you organize your video?
What do you mean in terms of what?
Like one of your oldest videos that, like, oh,
how do I organize my videos as I'm filming, or how do I organize? What do you mean?
When you filming, or when you like editing your videos?
Well, what I should be doing and what I start doing at the beginning. Hi, Thomas and Tom. What I start doing at the beginning of each trip is, once I film something, I put it into a separate. I put it onto a hard drive and I put it into a separate album, label it, and I do that for the first 2 or 3 days of each trip, and then I forget, and then because I start filming so much. The first 2 or 3 days of each trip, I'm always like, I film one thing, I'm gonna get frustrated, then I film half something. It takes me a while to get going again, and then I start really organizing everything into separate files, and then within 3-4 days, I've forgotten, and then I have to come home to a big mess. Like everything, like the John Wayne Gacy one. I don't know if you watched that I just put up. I filmed that in like August 13th or 14th, somewhere around there. And over the course of 5 days in Chicago, I was stop. Well, I was doing other videos, so it was all over the place. So it's, I've done that with lots of videos where, and I'm just like, I'd rather film one video, go to all the locations in one day in order, but it just can't. I don't have the time for that.
Yeah.
What up, Nick? Nick the Nat. I crossed the border, Shannon, in Michigan or New York State at Niagara Falls, or I cross over Gananoque into upper New York State, or I can cross, sometimes I go from, it's been a while since I did this, Montreal down through Magog, and then, hey, Carson, the video's coming tomorrow or Sunday, the one we did together. And then I do, and then going to Vermont. But this time I'm going to Detroit first. I got some special stuff planned for Detroit.
Okay. What is your top travel?
Top travel? What do you mean? Top?
Let's see, top travel that you haven't. I know most of the state you haven't been, but
well, the state I've been to the most and filmed in the most is California. And the thing with California is I could go back to California and get 100 videos in 2 weeks or 3 weeks, because there's so much. I could literally just, leave your hotel and you write down 3 things a day and you can go get them. I mean, it's Hollywood and it's Los Angeles. There's a million. For my channel, for pop culture, I can never run out. Like Michigan, I was looking up things for Michigan while I'm there. And I'm like, oh, that sounds cool. Oh, shit, I did that. And I was running into that problem the other night. I was finding stuff that I've already done. So Michigan, there's not a lot left. But the only thing that is left, Shannon, is a few Eminem things. So, and sometimes my Eminem stuff's popular, sometimes it's not. But someone get 100,000 views a couple. Sometimes they get like 4 or 5,000. It doesn't bother me. I'm just like, well, it's Eminem, so I'm gonna go film it.
Um,
Hey, Great Lundini, what's up?
okay. So how many stuff have you lost when you're traveling?
How many things have I lost?
Yeah.
Well, besides my dignity and self-respect, I've lost uh, 2 bathing suits, a lot of socks. Um, I lost something. It's just random little things like that. Pieces, articles of clothing, like when I'm doing laundry on the road, you always lose a sock. I mean, and I'm uh, I'm really to put it mildly, I'm anal about my socks. I have to have matching socks, and they can't have any holes or weirdness in them. And if I lose a sock, it's almost, you would think that the world ended. I get really upset and angry, and I'm yelling at the laundry machine, the washing machine. I
Yeah.
lose them here at home, but you know that you can't lose them in the new washing machines. But the old style ones that they have at hotels, if you overload it by just a little bit,
Yeah.
when it spins, the socks are the loose, like the smallest article of clothing, and they're loose, so they go over and inside your washing machines, the old style ones. So that's what they have at all the hotels. So if you open up those, you'll find a lot of socks. Life hack. Hey, Great Lundini. Pin them together first. I couldn't see, Shannon. That's not something I could do. I would get so frustrated having to pin socks.
Okay. What was the most challenge things you had done?
Most challenging?
Yeah.
I guess anything to do with true crime is very challenging, because you have to. There's a I find there's a delicate line you have to walk across to do true crime. And I listen to a lot of true crime podcasts to learn more about the subject I'm doing, or just for entertainment. And although I have a dark sense of humor, I don't like when people are laughing about it and they're having a good time, or they're whatever. And same when I see YouTube videos, which I don't watch, but people sitting around and they're making fun of the case or they're whatever, because you always got to remember that there's a victim, and then there's their family. There's, like, the victim's not there to see your video, but the family can watch. I know families have watched some of my videos. I've been contacted by them. So I always think of that. And then when you're at a true crime location, not just a grave, but when you're at the actual location where a major crime happened, it's a lot different than watching it on TV or reading about it or hearing about it. Like, when I'm there, it affects me a lot. So that's very challenging. And to find the right balance, and sometimes, like I said, I have a dark sense of humor, so the humor comes to me, but I'm not going to make any jokes, because there's a part of me that's just humbled by where I am. And then when I do things about homophobia, transphobia, racism, which I've done lots of videos about subjects like that, those are heavy subjects, and I want to get them right. And I want to make sure that people understand where I'm coming from, and I want to tell a story. And I'm not a journalist, but I'll slant it my way, because I don't like any of that stuff, and I don't like bullies.
Yeah.
Hey, Amanda, there's my girl Amanda over in Calgary.
What has been your weirdest moment?
My weirdest moment?
Yeah.
Probably having dinner with Amanda at a restaurant in Calgary, and the woman that was very drunk next to us in the booth. That was odd, because I was stone cold sober, so it's very amusing to watch somebody like that. And I'm in a strange city, so it's just like, oh God, I just want to tell her to shut the fuck up, but I can't. So that was weird, right, Amanda? There's always something weird. I get people coming up to me all the time when I'm filming. So I get strangers coming up and talking to me, and Uh, a guy when I was in Oklahoma doing The Outsiders. He was are the comments going? When I was doing Outsiders, there was a guy watching me, and then he was trying to get me to come into his house so he could preach the word of God to me, and he was very odd. Are the comments going, or are they frozen?
Yeah, it's still going.
Okay, I don't see them.
Let's see. Would you rather see a lot of plays or get to know one really well?
That's a good question. Um, I'm now at the point where I'm a little more. I can see what sucks is next week is, or is it this weekend? I don't know when it is. Daylight savings time. So that cuts into my daytime filming, and then I don't want to drive. Like by the time gets dark, I want to be in a hotel and relax and editing and whatever. And you can't really see the town at that
Yeah,
time, or the city. You know, there's not much that you can drive. Like driving around strange cities at night isn't fun. Driving around LA for me is at night is amazing because I know the city. Driving around Toronto, I know the city, but it's boring. But so I love to get to know new places. I fall in love with each place I go to. Like every place I go to, I love. And Detroit's another one. I'll go for drives in Detroit at night a lot. Um, but I like finding new places. I like finding new cities. And but like I said, there's only been like one or two cities or towns that I've hated, and I say I won't go back, but I probably will at some point. But
yeah,
yeah, I like finding. I get excited when I go. But I've been to a lot of the same places, and I'll go back to the same places, and I'll always find something new. Like I'm going through Ohio. I think maybe in 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, and I thought I'd done everything in Ohio, but there's stuff that I missed that I want to do. I can't read any comments, so if anybody's writing anything, I guess it's still going, but I can't.
yeah,
It's frozen on some of them.
yeah. Where was the scariest place you ever filmed?
Scariest place? Tomorrow's video. Tomorrow's video, I would say, was probably the one that's coming tomorrow or Sunday afternoon. My next video. Uh, hopefully, it clears copyright because it had to have a few. I haven't finished putting it together yet, but that's probably the most horrifying place or horrifying story I've read. But in terms of cities, the rocky locations were not good to do. Didn't enjoy that, and parts of but the rest of Philadelphia I loved, and I just it's just dangerous in certain areas. I go to very like uh, we have dangerous areas in Toronto. You know, there's dangerous parts of every city, right? And lots of times for when I do true crime or movie locations, they're well, if you're talking film locations, they're going to film in those parts of the city that are maybe dangerous or were dangerous because they want the realism. They want the so for me, I got to go there to do them.
Yeah,
And I've never had any issues except for Philadelphia, and like I said, I still love Philadelphia, but I've never had any issues. I just kind of do my thing, you know.
yeah,
And I believe, maybe a little naively, I believe in the good in everyone, and you know, I just try to do my thing and get out.
yeah.
Hmm.
What was the best place you stayed in?
Best place I stayed?
Yeah,
The best place I stayed. Well, I mean, there's lots of cities I stayed. Like, I mean, I love New York City and Brooklyn. I used to hate it. First I loved it, then I hated it, then I loved it again. There's parts of Florida. There's lots of places, but I did stay. there was a problem with two hotels that I stayed at in Manhattan Beach, California. And so the people that like my app, they because two hotels in a row were owned by the same people and they had the same, they were just awful and it was not what I was expecting. They transferred me to a hotel, comped me one night, and then gave me another, and I had my own bungalow near the beach. This is about 2.5, 3 years ago, and it was huge. It was like the size of my basement. Like it was huge, and it had laundry in it. It had a hot tub right outside the room, and one night was free. The other night was like $80 or something. And this is when I wasn't making any money on YouTube, so it was really cool. That was my favorite place I stayed. I didn't want to leave. I was so happy.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I was really enjoying the one you went, exploring the drive-in. I think what those. I don't know which one.
The abandoned drive-in.
Yeah.
I like that one too. I did that October 2018 or 2017, I think maybe it was. That was a long time ago. It could have been 2017. I don't know if I can't see. That's about an hour and a half north of me, about an hour and a half north of where I live. And yeah, the guy that was in that video with me, one of my best friends, he's coming down next weekend to stay here, which is cool because he moved out of the city. But yeah, we had a good time. And that was back, we went partying that night at a resort, and that was really fun. In the winter, it was cold, but it was fun.
Yeah.
It's done. Oh no.
And I kind of noticed you always drive through Death Valley back in 2011. So why do you decide there?
Well, no, 2012 was the first time I drove through Death Valley. What about it? What were you asking?
Why are you thinking you going over there?
Well, we had just left the set of The Office, the TV show, so I was angry at my friend. That's the same friend from the driving video that we were with. He didn't watch The Office, so he was not impressed. He wanted to get up to Death Valley to do a bunch of stuff. But it was my dream to go to Death Valley for a long time, so I finally got to go, and once I got there, I was excited, and I have more videos coming from Death Valley soon, and I'll go back out there. It's amazing. I love it. Every time I get there's the certain location from having to do with U2, the tree from the cover of the album, Joshua Tree. And then once you pass that and get into Death Valley National Park, it's really windy, twisty roads on top of mountains. And about a half an hour into that drive on the mountains, you're just like, why am I doing this again? Like it just it's, my friend couldn't even drive it. He was so nervous. I don't get nervous. I'm just like, it's just so monotonous, and you really gotta pay attention. Otherwise, you're going over the side of a mountain, and there ain't nobody coming to find you out there.
Yeah,
because you're gonna be so far in a gully or in a ditch, not even a ditch, a valley. They won't find you. So you gotta be careful in Death Valley.
Yeah. Let's see, probably the Joshua trees. So. How far is the walk from there when you film it?
Well, I have that video. I've done 2 videos from the actual Joshua Tree, and I have a third one I'm going to put up soon. And the walk from the road, Highway 180 or 190, to where the tree once stood, where it is on the ground, is about a 10 to 15 minute walk. But I noticed last time I was there in April, people are now driving to it. People are driving through the desert, which they're not allowed to do. There's tire tracks, and there's actually more. They've done it so many times. There's a road. Like the whole point of that is you're supposed to leave your car at the side of the road in the desert and walk through the desert and find the tree. you know, and make it part of the experience. But I can tell, and I say it on the video, I'm like, people are now driving in, they're ruining the natural beauty of the area, and they're cheating. You're supposed to try to find the tree and line it up, and you know, you're not supposed to go by your GPS all the way right to the tree.
Yeah.
And also, it's about 10 to 15 minute walk. And then when I was like, damn, well, I should have driven, but because it gets really hot. And then also the rattlesnakes are really prevalent around that time of year. And I've had some experiences with rattlesnakes out there, so I was very careful. But once again, I wore shorts, which you shouldn't. And even though it's hot, if you're going to be walking through flat desert, you got to be careful.
Yeah.
Like I consider myself experienced in the desert, but I wouldn't last more than an hour. If I was stranded, I would just curl up in a ball. Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Are you sure it's still going? Because I haven't seen the numbers move or the comments move. What comment do you see on yours?
I see Thomas and most everybody, and I know they had questions, so.
I see the last comment I see is Thomas saying, for me, getting out of bed every day is challenging. Do you see that?
Yeah.
I think it's frozen.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Okay, why don't you start over, and then I'll start it over, okay?
All right.
Okay.
Okay.